You're with MoneyWeb. My name is Hannah Barry, and I'm talking to Warren Ingram of Galileo Capital about good, bad, and ugly debt. Now, Warren, a lot is said about when you should take on debt, how much debt you should take on, what counts as good debt. These are often the subjects of conversations around South African braais, I think. Let's start with ugly debt. What is ugly debt?
So ugly debt is debt that we take on that firstly we can't afford, and secondly for items that we really don't need. So for example, South Africans love brands. We like branded cars, we like branded clothes. So if you're going to a big shop and you're getting a store card where they're giving you nice, or what they'd say is free debt, or debt that you can pay off over 6 or 12 months, and you're using that to buy that fancy handbag or those pair of shoes or the branded tie, and you get debt for that, to me that is the worst kind of debt, and that's really ugly debt.
Okay, let's move on to bad debt. So now we know what ugly debt is. What's bad debt?
So bad debt is debt that you might have needed for something, but again, it's something potentially that you could have saved for. So in our lives, buying appliances at a store. So you move out of home and you start earning a salary, and now you need to go and buy a fridge. Now most of us wouldn't save that money first and then buy the fridge cash. What we would do is the shop would make it really easy for us to buy on hire purchase at unfortunately terrible interest rates, and then we pay the fridge off over 3 years. And what happens is you end up paying 2 to 3 times the price of the fridge just in the debt, and that's bad debt. The other kind of bad debt, and unfortunately again a South African thing, is when you overspend on cars. So if you look at South Africa, we and the range of types of cars that we see in this country, really expensive kinds of brands, far outweighs the size of our economy. When we're one of the biggest markets in the world for Aston Martin, for example, doesn't make sense to me, and it's because we overspend on cars. So if you are overspending and you haven't budgeted for your car, and you're spending almost your entire salary on paying off your car, unfortunately then your car is bad debt.
You mentioned saving. There's a bit of a theme there of saving up to buy something rather than buying it and then saving up to pay it off. I think we've clearly got it the wrong way around. So let's move on to good debt, if there is such a thing as good debt, and should one save before taking on good debt? Yes,
you should. So let's talk about buying a house, which is probably the most common kind of good debt that we would all incur in our lifetime. So buying a house, there are very few people ever that will be able to afford to buy their house cash. And certainly that would be unrealistic to tell someone to save until they can do that. So what I would say is you need to save at least 25 to 30% of the value of the house as a deposit. The banks will tend to force you to do that anyway, but in your lifetime, building up that kind of a deposit first means that you've got accustomed to saving, you've got accustomed to putting away that money on an ongoing basis, and most likely that will be the kind of mortgage repayment that you will have. So yes, you should get used to saving, and you should get used to putting down a big deposit on your house, and then paying off that house as quickly as possible. Don't try and pay off the house over 20 years. It doesn't make sense. Pay it off a little bit more into that mortgage every month. The other debt that we have that might be good debt is then car. And I know I said that mostly cars are bad debt, but if you, for example, can put down a third of the value of the car. So let's say your car cost you 100,000 Rand. If you can put down 33,000 Rand as a deposit on that car, and you're going to spend less than a third of your salary on a monthly basis paying off that car, then a car could be considered good debt. Why? Because our public transport doesn't work. Most of us, we need to be able to move ourselves around if we want to make a living, and that's where a car can help you. So it becomes something that actually you use to generate an income, and that's why I would say sometimes, if you're careful, a car can be considered a good debt.
You mentioned paying off your house as quickly as possible. There is also some debate around whether that is the best strategy. Should you use the money that you're getting from the bank, using that leverage to then invest in other things or buy other things? No, is that a no-no?
The thing about money, I guess, is there's never an absolute right answer or an absolute wrong answer.
Come on, Warren, you can't get out of it.
I'm an economist, so I'm going to sit on the fence. So what I would say is, in most instances, you would like to pay off that house debt as fast as possible, unless you are really disciplined with money. You are a great saver. Then taking money that you might have put into your home loan and investing it can make sense. Unfortunately, most of us are not good with money. We're not disciplined savers. years. And then I would say to you, rather pay off your house. At least you know you're getting rid of that debt as fast as you possibly can. So I think for 90% of us in the world, pay off your house as fast as you can. If you're one of the 1 out of 10 that is really good with money, then you can do other things with it.
Don't overestimate your financial ability, in other words. Warren, renting versus buying, there's an ongoing debate as to which is better. You've mentioned that a home loan is good debt. When does it make sense not to buy a home?
So I think our parents and our grandparents always tell us, that's what we've been taught to do, is you must always buy a house. And it's not always the worst advice, but most people, when you earn a salary, you tend to stay in a property for 3 to 5 years. That's kind of typical behavior. You leave home, and when you started working, you move into your small little flat, and then you move into a bigger place, then you have a family, you move into a bigger place. And what happens is you're incurring major transaction costs when you buy the house and when you sell. And those costs actually destroy the potential capital growth that you would have had from that property. So then if you are going to move on a regular basis, rather rent and rather let the landlord pay all those transaction costs. If you were planning to stay in the same house for 8 years or 10 years or longer, then it actually would make sense for you to buy the house. But for the rest, rather be a happy renter.
Warren Ingram is with Galileo Capital, and I'm Hannah Barry with MoneyWeb.